Here we are with Exalted versus World of Darkness, City of the Bull God, Season 1, Episode 5. Today we have.
Brendan as the storyteller.
Peter as Sir Rigel Star, the Celestial Censer, a Solar Twilight.
Devon as End of Sadness of the Infernal Exalted.
Holden as Layla Church, the Infernal Exalted.
Sam as Rowan of the No Moon Lunars.
Oh, and
We
we
do
are.
the date.
Yeah, I was about to say, and we are in September 2021.
Huzzah.
All right, fantastic, guys. So we have Holden back with us again.
Hello.
We have kind of caught Holden up a little bit out of character on the shenanigans that the group has been getting up to, and we're going to rejoin everyone with the group going back to Sir Rigel's estate, where that Layla has been. But before
we did last time.
Oh, right, yeah. Recap of what we did last time. Let's see. Rowan ran into a friend. You guys got curry twice. You had a supernatural standoff, and then attacked some Nefandis, and there was definitely a deer in a elevator that basically one-shot a lady.
Yeah, she exploded. It was gross.
You say gross. I thought it was amazing.
Fucking kill of the game.
It was amazing.
So we're going to rejoin with the group heading back to Sir Rigel's estate. But in the meantime, I know that the group kind of left Holden there with the stars to just kind of get caught up. Just real quick for you, Holden. The stars probably would have asked if they could have like some blood and like maybe perform some tests on you. Do you let them? If you say no, they're not going to like push it.
I'm actually going to hold off on that until their son gets back, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's totally rad. Yeah, as soon as that you say no to that, they're like, oh yeah, no, fine. We'll just, make yourself at home at his place. We'll be in and out, and just once they get back from doing business, we'll catch up. And, things kind of proceed, and maybe you flip through the TV, have a few of those beers. They don't come back at the end of the night. And then it keeps going, and then the news comes on, and apparently there was a bomb threat at 20 Fenchurch Street that afternoon.
Oh gosh, it will actually look like someone exploded themselves.
There were some bomb dogs that got videotape going in. It's all cool, though. Apparently it seems pretty cool. And probably about an hour or so after this happens, the rest of your Exalted crew comes in.
We absolutely have like 6 pizzas.
I assume that you guys have, particularly Rowan, have cleaned yourselves up.
I mean, we could appear straight from the spirit world, because that's apparently how we exited the place.
Yeah, we probably exited through the spirit world.
So Rowan's coming in looking all Dragon Age, then.
And I'm going to have a pleasant conversation while covered in blood. No. If there was a stream of some sort, he probably in the spirit world, which I'm sure there is, he probably tried to get some of the gore off of him. Otherwise, he probably asked for a shower.
Yeah, we could hit the showers.
Celestial Censor's place.
So we come in with pizzas that we had delivered, covered in gore. Like, all right, that was a great hustle, team. Let's hit the showers.
Yes, please, showers.
So Layla's just sitting there watching the television when y'all get in. It's like, just someone called in a bomb threat against what in God's name happened?
Hey, Layla. Sorry,
us.
sorry we're so late getting back. We got some pizza. We're gonna go do some showers. I got to scrub gunpowder residue off me, and we'll chat then. Is that good? Is that cool?
Are the police gonna bust in through the window at any moment? Should I?
Nah.
Not
And
unless they could track us through the spirit world.
And like, even if they did, what are they gonna do? They could try.
Okay.
You know what? I'm just going to just get the pizza and not think about this until. Is that? How many people did you ring out on Rowan?
Just one. Just one.
The play of the game. It was great. Play of the game. Rowan here. My God. Fantastic.
For that all to have come from one person, you would have to pop them like a damn balloon.
That's pretty accurate, yes.
Yeah, shower, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So, hand wave, star wipe, whatever. Scene switches, you all were clean now and have pizza.
Literal star wipe.
Yeah, there's a literal star wipe, and now you guys are back. You guys are back, clean clothes and everything, all cleaned up. The gunpowder residue and viscera is off of you all. And y'all are, I guess, sitting around probably a pretty large table with all of you guys plus plus the stars here. So, I'm trying to think of exactly. I mean, okay then. So this is Rigel's dad talking. So you all took a little bit longer than we thought, but that's fine. It was a late night, and you all were doing us a favor. We appreciate that. What can we do to help?
Huh.
Well,
What were you saying, Rigel?
do you know of anything about the snake vampires?
Your parents kind of look to each other for a second, and they kind of think about it. Snake vampires. Yes. Well, your mom kind of pipes up. Yes, the ones who they do the how to phrase it. We've run into them a few times on some expeditions. Not exactly the best people, really. They're very they're kind of assholes. Anything specific? We're not sure on the name, but we've just been calling them snake vampires. Seems to fit. They do tend to hang around people a lot, like not in a good way. Like they tend to do this whenever they have people hanging around them. It's like they kind of turn them into like the worst version of themselves.
That sounds awful.
Is that unusual for vampires, or?
Well, I mean, we've had our dealings with some of the local, with some of the other local vampires around here. Some of them are actually quite nice chaps. Very, as long as you're not around them when they're a little peckish, they can be kind of nice. Good conversation sometimes to talk to someone who's seen a few decades. But all of them are a little peculiar, I would say. Very, very useful, though, for getting magical reagents, though.
Layla's just side-eyeing the shit out of this entire line of discussion.
We kind of ran
Yeah.
into some snake vampires in the museum.
Were they... All right, this is going to sound really stereotypist, I guess. Were they trying to steal Egyptian artifacts?
You know, now that you mention it, they were really hard up for those ancient Egyptian mummies in Rigel's museum. They tried to rob Rigel, and we told them to go fuck themselves.
Well, that's good that you did that. Huh. So I take it that that's why that you all were not looking so great when you arrived?
Oh, no.
Oh.
We resolved that without a fight. We just, sort of postured at them, and they collapsed like a cheap suit or a house of cards. No, this is from wizards. We killed some wizards on our way back. It was great.
Nefandi.
Yeah, that's the word.
Their faces kind of look very concerned when that you say wizards, and then when that their son corrects you, they go, "Oh." Like, there's relief on their faces that, you didn't just murder some of their actual friends.
Oh, who was that? So we ran to Tobias Knight from the Eaterites, and he had some problems with some Nefandi that we offered to help with. And yeah, there's now 2 less Nefandi around.
Tobias Knight. Oh, is that
Sir
Monsi's?
Persanville?
Yes, I was Sir Persanville. Yes. Monsii hasn't stopped talking about him for a while. So you met some of the local color then. Excellent.
Speaking of which, do you know that there's a virtual adept in the British Museum?
They kind of looked to each other. We weren't aware of a virtual adept in the museum. We only know the one in the area.
I start sketching him out and, giving a profile. Like, the police procedurals.
Oh, goddamn, you can do art too?
I mean, that's crafts.
No, like in game,
If
it's like, oh damn, dog, you can do art too. I'll nudge over to Layla. He made our bomb squad disguises.
you need to be well-rounded to make some forgeries.
That you do. That I didn't realize that Teddy was working at the museum. That's odd. We haven't had any. I guess that would make sense. He is kind of the local tech person for most of London's supernatural crowd. He's got ins everywhere.
So, what's Teddy like?
Teddy's a shut-in. He doesn't really leave his house, as best as we can tell. Most like you were dealing with a hologram or some kind of projection of him.
That would be interesting. He did have some very virtual adept hardware in the museum, so maybe that's connected.
That might be where that he's doing his work from. Normally, he doesn't like to leave the rig that he has set up in his apartment.
Clever.
Did you run into any of our other friends then? I feel like that we're a little. I think that you all got a little bit ahead of us. We had set up dossiers and everything.
Yeah.
Well, we did run into some vampire.
Oh yeah, we ran into a third vampire in the museum. That's from a quote unquote chantry, chanty, chatty, whatever you call it.
A chantry.
The vampire specifically said Chantry? Chantry?
Yeah, he says he's a wizard vampire.
Or I'm going to pronounce it today.
He says he's a wizard vampire.
Oh. How interesting.
And he was specifically after the book, that we were replacing.
Of course he was.
Yeah, we dealt with it. It's all good.
Bloody Tremere.
So do vampires just live in museums the way bats live in belfries, or is...
Oh god, I hope so.
Is this a thing?
That would be amazing.
Are there dinosaur vampires?
I mean...
You have to tell me if there are.
there are old vampires.
No, like, it's not what I mean. Don't, the reality's only going to ruin what's in my head right now. I can move on from this.
And you've seen
Not
snake
that
vampires. They're kind of like dinosaurs.
Not that we've ever met. But if we find one, we'll let you know.
Fair. But yeah, no, we found there was a vampire in the museum trying to steal the book, so we just sort of he's in onboarding right now, and I'll follow up with you on that guy later. But yeah, he said he's from a chantry, he's a wizard vampire. His wizard masters told him to steal a book, so we just kind of removed him from that situation.
Oh, well, Well, if you ever get a chance to go to this chantry, our recommendation would be to go there during the day, have a lot of high-proof alcohol, rags soaked in gasoline, steal as many of those books that they have there as you can, as those are originally Order of Hermes property, and then burn the place to the fucking ground.
I mean, I kind of got a feeling that's the way that was going to go, but I also was thinking bulldozers, they can get real hungry if you get them revved up just right.
The way that you say that, they kind of give a glance back and forth to each other.
Yeah, there's a reason you shouldn't play around bulldozers. They'll turn on you if you give them the chance.
I see. I'll keep a note of that. I don't play around heavy machinery most of the time anyway.
So we should probably get to the bomb threat, because I feel like Leia is maybe wanting to hear more about that from context at the table.
I didn't want to intrude, but yes.
The stars also look at you and go, yes, we're also interested in that.
So I'm not...
basically everything I watched on television last night and this morning, that was you then.
Yeah. We thought it was an elegant solution to get the people who'd be caught in the crossfire out of the crossfire, and then we fired.
The crossfire of...
There were evil wizards in that tower that like knocks old people over with wind and melts cars with its heat rays. You know, that tower you guys have in London that somehow isn't magical and somehow you guys don't think magic is real somehow. There are evil wizards in there. And we went up there, called the
That
bomb
actually
threat,
makes sense. I'll allow
right?
it. Go on.
Right? And they were there, and we just absolutely gave it to them as if we were X. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was, but I got to say, Rowan was astounding. Rowan's like some sort of monster machine. I've never seen anything like it before. And yeah, they went down pretty easy. Pretty easy.
To be fair, I didn't know it was instinct.
Good instincts. Trust those
Layla,
instincts.
for the record, finds this like the most difficult to believe part of the story thus far.
No, do you trust those
Having seen
instincts,
Rowan.
Rowan?
It's a lot different when you're an 8-foot tall half stag man than it is.
That seemed a little more than half. That seemed like you were full stag, man. It seems like you were the stag at that point, and everyone else was like grass. My God. Also, I owe an apology to Rigel. Rigel, you're right. Guns are a lot less useful than I thought they'd be. Physical weapons and claws and fangs are absolutely the way to go. I apologize for doubting you.
Oh, that's fine.
You've turned me. You both have turned me over on that one. I see the light. The context for why we killed a bunch of evil wizards, I think Rowan kind of has to tell it. I don't really know that guy too well, you know.
Oh,
That we helped?
You see, the place I used to work at, shoot, we named it and everything.
Oh no,
the architecture firm.
We named it something really good, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh shit! It was really good. I've forgotten it.
It was very good. I'll look for it. Anyway, the place that I worked for apparently is infested with mages, which is a strange way of saying it, but yes. And my previous boss, who tried to kill me, was her. And so she was apparently trying to poison the city. Rigel couldn't explain it a bit better. But, yeah, since Tobias asked and she was doing actual harm to the world, and also she tried to kill me, I think it was fair.
So you're telling me you killed both an evil wizard and a girl boss?
Yeah,
One
and
of the
they
same,
were.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, and they're evil minions.
No, that sounds like a good night's work.
The parents look very concerned. There's a lot of information being thrown at them that they were not expecting, and the dad just kind of, after a moment, after letting you guys kind of like high five and congratulate the murder of evil wizard girl boss,
Right? Pizza.
the dad just kind of goes,
throwing a pizza party for it.
So how do you become an evil wizard in the first place anyway? Is there like a mail-in correspondence course or
I assume you give up your soul or something. That seemed to be a common thread for them. I don't know.
But the last guy had a soul because we were able to throw him into hell. So
could you time that when I'm not taking a drink?
I'm actually doing it on purpose. I'm sorry. I thought that's how we bond.
all of them are after mentioning killing the Nefandus, the stars have stopped drinking because they do not want to have wine or anything else come out their nose. They're trying to keep themselves composed here as you all are dropping a lot of stuff on them. But eventually, Rigel's dad looks up and goes, "Okay, so we're going to take this one step at a time here. First off, first question, just in order of how that it came up." He turns towards Rowan. You're one of the changing breeds, like out up north. Then
No. Al, I asked the same thing. Al brought it up and said that I was not. Very similar, but not. Because I'm a human, and I can't be human and also a changing breed. That was the explanation, and I don't exactly know what that means, but yes.
No, Rowan's like us.
A bit dodgy and racist. Yeah.
Okay. Have you all made any headway on what you all are?
Bewildered?
I mean, so are we.
King of the Apocalypse.
I mean, I know that Enough Sadness does hear his avatar.
No, but like that's how Rowan's
and
like
you said
us.
that
Because Rowan, you definitely have a voice in your head. The voice in your head is just you, but a deer. Then you just make the deer come out and just fucking rock around. Rowan's like us.
Sure. I don't feel that's right, but sure.
It's closer than being some sort of caricature, right?
Okay, so then, like Rigel's saying, you all are able to hear your avatars then?
No.
No, yes, and maybe? And a no from Rigel, I believe.
Yeah, I think only End of Sadness can do that.
That's a
I don't
frustrating.
even know what an avatar is.
It was this movie.
It's
that,
like
a...
No. It's not like that movie, and it's not like the television show.
There was a Blue Person TV
It's like...
show?
You love it.
It's like the thing from where the source of our power comes from. So my question then is, when you all use your powers, do you feel like the world is pushing back at you?
Not one bit.
No,
not really.
If anything, the world retaliates in pain.
All right, spooky. And all right, interesting. So maybe this is some kind of evolution of the avatars. This is an interesting road to fall down. I'll have to follow up with some of my teachers when we get back to the back home. All right. So next up, we'll table that for now. Next up, you fought a Nefandus and lived.
Is that special?
Well, I mean, Sir Persanville was on that case for months now, trying to track them down and trying to get a good point where we could send a cabal of local mages to try and take them out. And you all did what was taking us months to plan in an afternoon, because he ran into your guy on the street.
We were pretty hammered too when we planned it out and executed it. Well, at least some of us were.
Well, you know how to say it. It's like almost running into a lycanthrope, pretty much from our end. So,
wait, if you're saying
it's kind of hard to take Rowan down.
If you're saying evolution and Rowan's not whatever that thing you were talking about, does that mean Rowan's like a super werewolf?
Would be.
Like an alpha werewolf, like an omega one or whatever, like the biggest version.
That's based on faulty research that isn't real.
No, I don't mean like alpha animals and dogs. I know that. I mean like in comic books, where you have like the king vampire and then the alpha vampire.
Yeah, those also aren't real.
I mean, vampires are pretty real.
Yeah,
let me ask you
this.
this:
a few just last night.
Do vampires have a king or a ruler?
Yes.
End of sadness.
Locally,
leans back with a slice, smiling.
I mean,
well, so does the Dockworkers Union. That doesn't fucking mean anything.
Yeah, more or less, exactly. Every society has some kind of ruler, and if the vampires are going to operate not as a singular unit, which if they were, there would be vampire wars in the street, which hasn't happened for quite some time. You know, they have to have some kind of ruler keeping them steady.
All right, well, have you ever heard of a werewolf king?
No.
Look, I'm not really committed to this bit, but Rowan might be cut from more regal cloth if he's pulling stuff people don't know about.
It seems a leap.
Big classes too.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so putting aside what that Rowan is, what you all are, we're very impressed that you all decided to deal with Nefandis that quickly. They're not, they're usually not things to be trifled with. Their magic tends to be very deadly and very quickly.
Well, we still need to deal with the head Nefandis, prefix, Kalis.
Oh, but there is an evil wizard king. That's great.
And he's like a demon wizard.
In a sense, yes.
Is he now?
Oh, do you know about this one?
Prefix Kalis has been a thorn in the side of London's magical society for quite a while. He tends to go underground whenever we get close to him, pop up a couple years later. Myself and your father have actually been hunting him most of our magical careers. Came this close to getting him once. He used some of his magics to escape, though. So he's been busy again, corrupting people. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he owned the architecture firm, I think.
Labyrinth Designs, was it?
Yes, that was what it was called. I'm sorry, it just...
Oh. Wow, that's... Well, I guess you can take a key from that, hide in plain sight and all that.
So what is it this evil wizard does that makes him so evil, then?
He's essentially plotting the end of the world.
Well, I mean, so the government by this point, what's he doing that makes him so special?
He's competent?
Yeah, the government does it by accident, whereas this one's doing it on purpose.
He also doesn't have a soul. Just so you know.
So, we all right. So you took out some Nefandus. You have his name. We can work here trying to find him if that you all are set on trying to take him out. We'd be happy to help with that. Wouldn't even ask you to do anything for us. Is there anything else that we should talk about? Oh, have you met any of the other awakened folk in the area?
Other than those
wizards, any other wizards?
Other than those,
just
like,
how many of you
four
are there?
We met in one day. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've met like 6 in 2 days. Is that not enough? Is there like significantly more than that?
Let's see. You've met us. You met Tobias, Teddy. Oh, and then the Nefandus. Right.
Technically 7. We know about.
We were thinking
because Rowan's met the 7th one personally. So is there more than that? It feels like there's a lot more wizards than vampires at this point.
I would say that we definitely are outclassed by the vampires. Not outclassed. I'm sorry. Wrong. Outnumbered.
Well, do you want to go? Do you want to go searching for vampires? End of sadness. We can go and roam the streets and find the UFU.
I have a feeling if I required contact with vampires, I can kind of make that happen without having to waste your time. So I wouldn't want to do that. But I do feel like those snake vampires are our enemy.
Are they though? They just wanted to trade some.
Your parents said they sucked.
Mummies for. I mean, in general, we can, exclude everybody every snake vampire will suck. And apparently they have some text from the Library of Alexandria, so not sure how much bullshit they have, but
I don't know. They were only robbing a museum.
That could be useful,
I guess. Like, they were robbing a museum, sure. That's not really a crime, but, like, I don't know. I got a vibe off of them. They seemed shifty.
I mean, it technically is, but...
I mean, stealing from museums is a victimless crime.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of a victimless crime.
The museum was already the victim crime.
Okay. That's not a sentence.
All right. So we'll give you the contacts for the people that we know around the area that might be able to help you with anything. There's our friend who runs the gym. His name's Danzen. He's the local Brotherhood member. There's Earl. He runs most of the club scene. He's a good guy, but he's a little bit burnt out.
Layla sits up at that.
And then there's Misty. She runs and then they kind of air quotes, occult shop. She's been doing her part to make sure that some of the people who took that vaccine scare a couple years ago to heart are getting back on actually believing in real things.
That's something I'd like to see, a wizard helping people believe in real things. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with wizards. What you can make people believe anything, and it becomes real.
Winning hearts and minds, one person at a time.
So I've been meaning to ask, what exactly that you can do with your magic?
Oh, lots of things. I mean, we did travel here from, well, it's not on any map. I believe that it's one of the moons of Mars, or at least its astral projection is where the head hermetic chantry is.
So hang on,
Whoa,
is
whoa,
that
whoa.
like a self-actualization thing, like picturing the white hot room, or are we actually talking like
I mean,
pack your bags, we're going to Mars?
Are your parents space wizards, Rigel? With stars
well,
for their names?
well, you see, if you go deeper in the spirit world, you actually travel away from Earth, and then space and spirit world becomes one, really. So a lot of wizards are space wizards, even if they don't use spaceships.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm a kid because you're throwing a lot at me. Are there canals on Mars? Are there like Venusians on Mars or Venus Martians? Like what is and isn't real?
Let's start simple. Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus. Is old Saint Nick real, and did he bring me that Super Nintendo?
Yes, but I don't know.
That's a lot for an answer, I gotta say.
Well, I haven't talked with the spirit of old Saint Nick.
Sounds like a holiday adventure.
Yes, so as far as other things that we can do, move things with our minds, cast. We can shoot fireballs, technically, though I don't prefer to do it here. Too many nice things here.
So it's practical, this magic. You can actually do things with it. It's not
Oh,
just like the
yes.
power of self-actualization of the mind or any of that claptrap.
Oh, no, we really do teleport to Mars.
Okay, it's not the
Well,
secret.
one of its moons. Oh, yes, no, it's not the secret. Some of our associates can speak to spirits. So we know a guy who can actually do minor divination and a little bit of time travel. Not like uh, ooh, not like the time machine style time travel, but like he can. He set himself up by knowing what the lottery numbers are going to be.
Just all of this is upsetting.
Layla's like looking. She's concentrating very hard on something.
Meteor.
So your parents live on either Phobos or Demios. This is fantastic. Right.
I want to say that it's Phobos, but I left the Order of Hermes book at my office at work.
I think Phobos is the bigger one.
I mean, Doom happens on both of those moons.
We need to pin it now. Maybe the chantry moves.
Right. So then.
Okay, you know what? No.
What?
Magic's real. You guys are space wizards from Mars. How come nothing...
Oh, we're from Earth.
No, but like, how come nothing on Earth is... Why is this as good as it gets?
I mean, it's not. We've been working on that, but there's a... Oh, boy.
Because, like...
So there was a war a couple hundred years ago, and the wizards lost. And now someone else is in charge of what happens in the world. And they've decided that this is what's best.
Okay, you kind of opened up by talking about Santa Claus a little while ago, and now you're talking about a war and someone is in charge. If you were to put a name on this entity that we could take our complaints to... Do they come in ones or threes?
The people that you're looking for who have done this to the world are known as the technocracy.
Seriously.
Yeah, not an original name. It doesn't ring. It doesn't like flow off the lips like Order of Reason did.
Oh, that sounds really online.
Which one?
Order of Reason? That sounds a little terminally online. I've
Yes.
talked to assholes like that in my old job.
Yes, that's what they called themselves back when the war was going on. Well, I mean, it still is, but we're kind of, it's more like a secret war and less like an out in the open war.
Okay, so
we have we have the Tories and Brexit because y'all lost a war with a bunch of less wrong posters.
Which coincidentally has just for the time being spared Christ. Because that's where I thought this was going. That's been tabled because I thought that's where this conversation was about to go. I always had a feeling, but...
Were you just about to suggest going to kill God?
I mean, why not? Have you ever lived a day in this world?
He's not wrong about that.
Someone has to be to blame, and those space wizards are telling us that there is someone to blame. It's not just happening for no reason. There's literally an order of reasons. Someone's.
I liked yesterday when we were dealing with snake vampires.
Everything was so much smaller when we were dealing with just the snake vampires and their mummy obsession.
I mean, I heard that the angels are real, so, there's a chance that he may be.
Oh. Great.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, we've never encountered an angel. Things that say that they're angels, yes, but never an actual angel.
I mean, that's kind of, I think, what met me originally. Like, okay, look, I'm not very good at religion. Kind of missed that part. But aren't demons in hell fallen angels? Isn't that like the pop culture thing?
It depends which hell you're talking about.
It's fair enough. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to internalize that a bit more before I act out wildly.
All right, then. Any other questions that we can help you with?
Layla's still kind of frowning down at her hands.
Are you okay there, Layla?
Hmm?
Are you okay there, Layla?
Yeah, probably.
Which part has upset you?
It's nothing. So what are we doing?
I feel like I agree with Rowan. I'd rather go back to the snake vampires for now.
Yeah, let's scale back and deal with snake vampires and then maybe kill God. I don't know. It's a little overwhelming, I'll be honest.
I just didn't think it'd be that easy.
No. What? Killing God is... what?
Not the act. Not the act. I just didn't think... It's different when you're not magic. I feel like you've all been magic forever. I feel like, Rigel, you probably grew up knowing magic was real. It's different when you're not magic. Things just happen and you have to suck it up. But when I go into a church, the holy water boils. and there are evil 1984 wizards making people miserable. I just didn't expect it to be that easy, that straightforward. It's different.
If it makes you feel any better, it's not all the evil 1984 wizards, and it's not all cut and dry. Sometimes there are stupid things that us or the others, sometimes it is just people.
I don't think I've met anyone in the last few months where it was just people.
Well, listen, we're happy to help however that we can. We're interested in seeing where that you all go from here, and Rigel seems to have taken a shine to you all, so we're here to help. We apologize if this revelation of how big the world is kind of a bit of a shock, but better to have it now than to have someone else rip the wool from your eyes and reveal an unwelcome truth about the world.
I think I'll be fine. It's just processing. Give me a day and I'll be bounced right back. Snake vampires, though. Are we in agreement that we should look into these snake vampires?
Let's go with snake vampires.
Snake
Let's go with
vampires. Yeah,
I
snake
think
vampires.
definitely we should look into them.
This seems more manageable.
Sure.
All right, then. Snake vampires. Trying to think, who would we know who could...
I mean, we have a Tremere. That might be a lead.
Yeah, I could pump the intern if you guys don't have any leads.
Unfortunately, we don't deal a whole lot with the people on on Earth as much as we used to. If you'd gotten us back in the 80s, we would have been happy to help.
That's just a wild apology. That's a wild statement.
I know. We can't stay here for too long. The world kind of hates us.
Well, what are you going to do when old Muskie shows up and starts setting up emerald mines?
I probably ask you all to deal with it.
That's
I know.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm back. I'm bounced back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do we want to have a pause
we
now so we can prep for the thing?
We got to save Mars from capitalism one day. The one place that capitalism hasn't tainted us.
Space! Yeah, so we can pause now, take a bathroom break, and then we will pick back up with you guys going to talk to the intern about getting the about figuring out where the snake vampires are.
Before we do that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we're basically breaking. We're get up from the table, head off, start doing our legwork.
Mm-hmm.
So Layla lingers behind a few moments, finishing off her drink, while everybody else is filing out.
Yes, Layla, how can I help you?
So, this magic all y'all can do, where does it sit on raising the dead?
That's not something that we deal in. It's probably a dangerous path for you to try going down. It's
Who does?
getting the dead back is a hard, if not impossible, task for even master wizards.
Hold on. Which is it? Is it hard or is it impossible?
It's extraordinarily hard. I've heard of it being done maybe once, and not even successfully at that. You'd need the person's soul, you'd need a proper body, you'd need something to create the mind. There's a lot of things that goes into it. A lot of really hard to do things. And every step of that, there is an incrementally harder chance that it will backfire in our faces.
Well, thanks for the hospitality. I think the others are waiting for me.
Of course. Do take care. If you need anything, we're here to help.
And Layla out.
Okay, I guess we pause then. And we're back.
All right, then. So, you guys are going down into the underground to go talk to Intern. Is that correct?
That's right. We're going to go meet the vampire intern in the... oh, damn. Do I have a cool name for the vampire area? I guess not. Just be the safe house. The vampires have a safe house.
Haven.
The Haven. Clever, clever.
Well, one of the vampires definitely told you to call it the Haven.
Haven it is. Yeah, absolutely. Fucking print it. So the Haven,
Okay.
I think I described previously, was like a London underground tunnel, like those old catacombs that's been converted into like a loft apartment with like actual like heavy like sarcophaguses for the vampires to hide into during the day. And there's like TVs and fridges and stuff down here and lighting and books and shit. Like it's an apartment, like a Seinfeld loft, basically.
Okay. So you get down there, and everything is as it should be, except that when you open up the door to it, there is an extra person in here that you don't recognize.
Who's the new face?
Across from Troy, who that you had recruited from the museum the other day, there is a young lady who is basically like holding her hands in like the form like a field goal, and they're both kind of playing like flick the piece of paper through the goal, like at the table. And when you all enter, she stands up and looks to you all and goes, "Ah, hello there. I am Millie." And she kind of looks between you all and kind of locks eyes with Layla. And you can notice a distinctly unique purple coloring to her eyes. That is very familiar of your mentor.
Hi, you turned up again.
Yes, Layla, how have you been? It's been a while.
Things have been fucked. Yeah, pretty much ever since I met this crew.
You're afraid of Layla's?
Yes, well. Yes, hi, Millie. I've been teaching Layla some things, off and on.
Oh, a friend of Layla's is a friend of ours. Welcome to the underworld.
Ooh, fancy. Is this going to be like one of those movies?
Right? It's going to be so rad.
right?
I'm not dressing up like in that fucking movie.
I might dress up like in that movie, thank you very much. That outfit was rad.
Cosplay is really rad.
If anyone is Mila Jovovich, it's me here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like that. I'm really excited about this underworld situation.
There's Kate Beckinsale, but okay.
Oh, what? Am I thinking of Ultraviolet? Damn it. No.
I think you are thinking of Ultraviolet.
It's Resident
Evil.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
one
Resident Evil. In which case, I have no interest in this conversation.
Yeah.
No one can do any sound fucking mixing on those.
No,
movies.
It's more like Underworld, not Resident Evil.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, pleasure to be here. I'm here to just kind of observe for now, if that's all right. Just wanted to make sure that I got my hours in looking over Layla here. But if I'll just be in the corner for now. But if you all need me, I'll be here. I'm just kind of doing my rounds.
Oh yeah, do you want like a food or drink, or we can put a movie on for you or something?
Oh, no. This is all much more interesting. And I already ate. Thank you very much, though.
All right, cool. Intern, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how was your first?
Good.
How was your first night?
Not too bad. I'm a little peckish, but I mean, comes with the territory.
Yeah, sorry. I thought some of the staff would be by, or some of the volunteers would be by for that. We'll wrap that later. So I have a feeling your head might be a little clearer than it was the other night. Got any new perspectives? Any new thoughts about the job offer?
Right, the job offer. So I appreciate what that you did for me, and I'd totally like to stay friends. But I think that I'd like to kind of try to set out on my own, if that's cool.
I mean,
you got friend zoned by a vampire.
I mean, that's completely fine. This is a catch and release program. No problem. But the pitch just didn't work out. What about the pitch didn't work out? I need to know this for future pitches.
Well, if I'm being honest, it's more like I haven't had a whole lot of freedom to do what I want, like for me, for like the last decade or so. Working with my clan, as it were, is very...
We touched base with some of our wizard friends, and they told us you're a Tremere, and you have vampire wizard friends, right?
Yes. I wouldn't call them friends, though. They're more like colleagues.
Or captors, if we want to call it what it was. So, you're absolutely free to go. No problem there. We'll wrap that real quick. My question is, what are you going to do if they come looking for you? Do you have a plan for that? Because I have a plan for that. I was wondering what your thoughts on it were.
My plan was to probably catch a plane and go over to America and just kind of disappear in the wild expanse of America.
Do you like living in London? Do you have people here you like hanging out with? See, my long-term goal is those wizard vampires will be won't vampires. For various reasons. So if you want to be here and not be harassed by them and Vampire Society cause you problems, we can work on that. The other pitch is also, joining the organization gives you access to, unlimited free wishes, that sort of thing. Blood, blah, blah, blah. None of that's sticking with you?
I mean, it's a very tempting offer. I won't lie. It's just I've been, you don't want to trade one cage or one collar for another, you know?
Hey, I know that all too well. Fair enough. All right. Pick up that can and pass it to me. I command you. I'm invoking the wish thing.
He will. Oh, okay.
Does he pass me the can?
Picks up the can next to him and passes it to him. Is he now aware that hell exists?
Yeah, and if he doesn't pass me the can, he goes there.
Oh, he just kind of like, he goes to pick it up and like there's a moment where he stops and he just kind of goes, oh, grabs the can and passes it to you.
All right, you're done. You're good.
Okay.
If you ever want to come back for like the whole situation, please come back. Don't be bad. We'll get someone to ship you out. If you want to be shipped out on a plane, we have contacts for that.
Right. Yeah. Do you mind if I take a seat for a little bit? That was a lot.
Yeah, that's how the contract has to be ended. Sorry about that. I kind of didn't want to let that just hanging over your head. It would be unethical. So we need to know about snake vampires. Once you've had your moment, could you fill us in on snake vampires? This is my friend Layla, my friend Rowan, my friend Rigel. We're gonna deal with some snake vampires, and you know about them.
Right. Yeah. No, I met the other two when you all were having curry, and then you were explaining the entire Matrix trilogy to me, scene by scene.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to go into The Last Jedi next. Oh, it has a great scene with Luke dying at the end, but we could table that for the next time we meet. So yeah, we want to handle these snake vampires because we feel like they're going to be a problem for us in the future, or they might have things that our friend Rigel here wants.
Okay. Yeah, I know a bit about them. They're snake vampires. I think that my teacher called them the Order of Set. They kind of have like this Egyptian snake thing going on.
Why wouldn't it be the Order of Apophis then?
I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
But that's what they wanted to be called. They have a local area. They have a local temple that some of my classmates have dealings with. And I can tell you where it is.
Works for us. Absolutely, it would be fantastic.
Excellent. So he gives you an address. Basically, it's to this place called the Temple of Dogs.
Perfect. I'll have to spare 7 start bringing it up on Google Maps, and we'll dispatch drones to fly there to take a quick look to get us eyes on the ground.
Doing a quick Google Maps search and a quick Googling of it. They have a fairly large presence on social media. They have kind of a setup where they are talking about more or less rediscovering yourself, trying to become the true you. They offer multiple courses. They have very much like kind of gleaning over it. They have the startings, a pretty obvious setup that's like, here, come join this cult. We're totally not a cult, but we are a cult.
Aw, they're doing the vampire thing.
They have similar iconography to the cult of Typhon.
They do have similar iconography.
No, they don't. Do they have like the symbol of Typhon and everything, like the Ministry does?
Yeah.
Oh, this is theft. When do these assholes show up?
Well, okay, let me think for just a moment. And he kind of looks up for a moment and then off to the side, Millie kind of pulls out like a smartphone and starts scrolling and just kind of goes, they've been here for about 200 years.
What? They've retroactively been ripping
beat you
off.
to it.
They've been retroactively ripping off my bit for 200 years. That's bullshit. They owe me.
Are you sure that you haven't been ripping off their bit?
I'll point to the
That's not how
symbol.
time works.
I'll point to the symbol emblazoned in my forehead. No, I was here first. Just because I didn't show up till now doesn't mean that I wasn't. They're ripping me off.
Millie kind of like staring at her smartphone just kind of gets this sly grin and looks over to Layla. It's like, man, girl, you really know how to pick them. This one is full of fire and brimstone.
I didn't pick them. You picked them.
We all picked each other.
You want to aim me at these?
We all picked each other, whether or not we realize it. Okay.
Things are always coming together. Don't blame me for this.
How bad is this cult? I spit the word out when I say cult, not like how I say cult. I softball it when I say the word.
Trying to think.
Like, is there stories of people being extracted and deprogrammed from it? Sketchy stories on social media, Reddit posts? I'll have to spare 7 and the dozens of computers on standby for this start scouring. Get me everything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm super down for you to be doing that. Trying to think of if I. So he's just Despair 7 is just kind of doing it over time, and that's a separate AI, right?
So how?
It's not you.
Because of Hollow Mind possession, I just grab computers and have them plugged into power in the internet, and I make them alive. So there's dozens and dozens and dozens of Hollow Mind possessed computers in these caves everywhere, just learning skills like how to have social media accounts and troll Reddit and Twitter and just find information that's publicly available and aggregate it together and make links and stuff. Like I'm doing the Google Analytics thing with brute force and hell sorcery.
Okay. Yeah, if no one else has anything to try and find stuff, I'll give it to you after a time, but if
Sure.
anyone else has something that just kind of like automatically does it, like, you guys are welcome to give me a roll or whatever.
I probably remember any like news mentions of them over the couple decades they've been around.
Yeah, I've only been in London
That's
for a
about
couple
it.
months. I don't know jack about these people.
Right. Yeah, I just wasn't sure that you guys had like, 'cause I know that there's that one charm that from
Like the
at least yeah, that's what it is. It's the sidereals that you can just like ask a question and then get basically an answer.
Oh yeah, the Google
That's
spider.
SIDS.
Yeah.
I love that guy. It's like your little familiar.
Yeah, and then they've got the bigger versions of things best unknown and whatnot.
Yeah, the 5 charm where you learn everything you want, but it costs you a lot.
Where you just get to basically do a Wikipedia crawl on like reality.
It's awesome.
That's rad. Okay, so while the Despair 7 network is pulling all of its resources into figuring out things on the Temple of the Dog and all that, it's going to take a little bit.
Sure.
I know that Pete, you had mentioned off recording that you wanted a reason to pick up that new charm, and we're thinking about asking if the mentor could swing by.
I mean, yeah, not really a charm, more of a
the
martial arts.
The martial art, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, End of Sadness' mind has been occupied, so they're going to start focusing on this in the cave.
She's going to, Millie's going to kind of sidle up to Rigel and kind of eye him up and down, be like, funny seeing one of you hanging out with these two demons, though.
What do you mean, one of me?
Well, you glow like the sun, whereas they glow like some spicy rocks.
Well, and Rowan glows kind of, dimly blue. So, what's your point?
It's a different feeling that I get from you. That's
I
all.
mean, yeah, we are made of similar but not identical things, it seems.
Yeah. So, I know that Layla can defend herself, and I'm gonna assume, given this guy's defenses, that he can defend himself. Um, what about you?
I usually don't get into fights. I'm more of a, learn type.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So am I. But every now and again, you need to know how to kick some ass. So, you want me to help?
Sure. Seems that we'll be going after more dangerous things soon, so might as well. What do you have?
She is going to take the time that you all have to teach you the form for that charm that you picked up. The black shards fall like ice. What martial art is that under, or is that just
Uh,
a martial art?
well, that's the first part of the martial arts. Let me pull that up. Sidereals. Probably the Obsidian Shards martial arts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Rad. Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, so she will take the time to teach you that, and once that's all done, you have access to it. Yeah, if you need, if you or your friends want to learn anything fancy like that, just let me know. I spent a couple years learning to hone myself.
This is quite useful.
I should hope so.
Layla, meanwhile, has been sliding up to the vampire.
Troy, the intern, looks up to Layla and just goes,
Just Troy now.
"Hey, what's going on?"
Oh yeah, he chose poorly. Hey, so you're she puts her fingers at the corners of her mouth, making fangs.
He smiles as best as he can. Yeah, yeah.
So you seem to know a fair bit about these snake lads over at the Temple of the Dog, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you know
Enough.
about fangy lads over in the club scene?
Oof. Well, a little bit. I didn't really get out. It took me almost like 20 years to get out of my internship with the Chantry. It's not been very fun, you know.
Hmm.
But I got to go out every now and again. Um, what do you have? Like I went around to some of the local haunts. Hung out at Carfax Abbey a couple times.
Did you now? And who'd you see there?
I mean, couple of couple of the local kindred. Um, there was. I mean, most of them just kind of hang out around there. It's one of the big vampire clubs in the area. It's kind of plain sight, but it works.
What about a blonde fella, likes white suits?
That's extraordinarily specific. Oh, there's kind of like this look of realization on his face, and he goes, "Are you talking about Parker?"
Yes. Temperature in the room just dropped like 20 degrees.
Oof.
He looks down as he's like packing up like a few of the things that he has, getting ready to head on out. But obviously, he's not going to just leave this conversation hanging. I've met him once or twice. Set up. He was setting up some gigs at some of the clubs. Weirdo, I guess. But I mean, all the artist clan are.
There's a whole clan like him.
Yeah, they like sponsoring people.
Sponsoring people.
Yeah, real up their own ass.
That sounds like him, yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen him in probably 6 months, maybe a year. Like I said, I didn't really get out a whole lot. I was still kind of like a on probation member.
Of course you were.
I mean, your friends caught me pretty good, so like, it kind of shows.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly my sire's best choice.
All right then, thank you.
Yep.
He nods and like will finish packing up his stuff, and like once it's nighttime, he will head out.
So the question is, does he want to, put some dirt on his, former, sire and the chantry, or will he keep that a secret?
Do you guys want to ask him?
Might as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so like he's heading out, and then you guys kind of stop him to ask, I guess.
Yeah. So, Troy, are you living like good terms with your creator and his friends, or would you like to, I don't know, throw them to the dogs, as it were?
You know, it's real tempting to throw them right out. The head of the Chantry was a right asshole. You know what? Yeah, if you guys are here to do something, if you guys are willing to do things about it, I'm happy to hand you some names. Just don't tell them I gave it to you.
Look, if you're
No
leaving
problem.
if you're leaving the country, we'll throw you one more solid, and we'll follow through on the fake your own death plan I had stored up if you were going to join. How about that? Then you could say that you traded for it.
Yeah, sure. That helps me start a new identity over in the Americas.
Yeah,
And hey, if you're still around when I come back,
absolutely.
maybe we can talk about that.
If we're still around, for sure. Yeah, all right, we'll get the info from them, and they'll have to go to a different cave to do some voiceover recording. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a found footage video that's going to be sent from their phone to their sire that just got through now because it was so long. That's going to detail the phone line on its side after something awful happened to the vampire. And then Men in Black came in and said, I guess that bloodsucker was looking for this book. And it's like, we'll replace it with a fake. And then they'll leave. Like, I'll set up a whole thing that makes it look like this guy got by Men in Black.
Okay.
With like
Yeah,
editing,
that sounds like a plan.
rendering, we'll make it grainy, and then it'll just be boop, boop, text to the phone, and the phone will be destroyed.
Okay. So he's going to give you 3 things. The first is the location of the Chantry.
Okay.
He is going to give you the name of the guy who runs the Chantry which is Xavier Simpson.
Okay.
And then he's going to give you guys the name of his sire, which is Finley Hart.
All right. Excellent. I certainly hope their consciences are clean.
Mr. Hart's not too bad. Just kind of stuck in a place. But Xavier? Nah, fuck that guy.
We're not really into the whole killing the mooks and letting the big bad survive. That's for children's movies.
Good to know.
So, did your sire tell you why he wanted the book, or?
He said that there was some ancient rituals in that book that could be useful to us. He didn't give me any specifics.
Mm. Yeah, I think that would work. Well, thank you for the information, and yeah, best of luck to you on your journey.
Live your best life.
I'm gonna try. I guess I'm gonna have to practice my American accent. Get along, little doggy.
No, it's
Man,
more,
that's a big gun.
no. You got. It's more. It's more like, hey, don't be coming over here, you hosers. It's like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay then. We'll just not call them okay then.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah, okay.
Let's go to Wisconsin.
All right, it's not soda, it's pop. It's not soda, it's pop, is what that he's saying as that he's leaving.
Okay.
And at this point, as he leaves, Despair 7 has given you a bunch of information on the Temple of the Dog.
Perfect. Let's lay it out. See what we got to work with here. All right, so snake vampires, this seems to be their base. If they have knowledge to trade for you from the Library of Alexandria, odds are they're going to try to foist off onto you stuff that they want the least. So why not just take what they like the most from them, right? Simple enough equation, right? I'm not overthinking this.
I mean, yeah, that sounds good. Question is whether they're keeping it all in one place or is it spread out in some safe houses around.
I feel like getting our hands on those inside the House of the Dog who are vampires will sort of lead us to those other places.
So you want to capture them, put them in sarcophagus, and extract information from them?
I guess, or something.
But what about the mummies? As I said, I have visited the museum in the spirit world, and the spirits did not seem pleased. If they can get them back to where they come from, why don't we just deal with them as we said we were going to?
I have a feeling
The question is, will they?
I have a feeling these people aren't going to be bringing them back to where they belong, seeing as they were just a bunch of white folk. I don't mean to put a stereotype out, but
I mean, maybe they change the color of the skin when they take on the snake look.
maybe, sure. But something about them just feels like they're not doing this for... They're not trying to Indiana Jones this back to its home country.
Should we not at least give them a shot? Like, give them
Yeah.
a benefit of the doubt? Maybe they're like the mercenaries, people who've joined the order afterwards? Like, that
Look,
it might be...
the people we should be interested in are the leadership. So all we need to do is identify them. They'll have all the information we want. They'll be where most of the sin has accumulated. They'll be the people that know what we want to know.
All right.
Some of it's personal now to End of Sadness, so
I didn't want to bring it up, but
it's not just about the mummies.
I feel a little. I feel complex emotions I'm trying to process, and I'm going to process them in an external way.
Well, sounds like the two of you have dressed the same, and one of you will have to change, and we are going to work out who that might be.
Absolutely, you. God damn, if you're not a poet too. God damn, if you're not a poet too.
Huh.
I believe at this point I'm going to
So
buy
what's the plan?
mind hand manipulation because this has told me exactly where we need to go.
Oh God.
That is
What
where
does that charm do?
it's telekinesis. I promised I'd never buy it, but I'm doing it now.
Oh no.
It's the carry power.
Do tell us.
Oh boy.
Okay, so the plan. Honestly, we could go during the day when they're all going to be asleep and see where that leads us. I have a hard time doing a lot of long-term planning. I work best in the moment, so I would really like you guys to maybe help me out here a bit. I'm kind of a bit new to this. We know what they have, we know what we want, and we know we want to stop them from doing things. What's the best way to achieve this?
Well, we can't just keep calling bomb threats everywhere, because that'll get out of hand soon enough.
Sure, of course. I also don't like overusing certain things too many times. It gets stale.
Well, dead vampires can't do very many things.
What vampires?
Dead ones.
Yeah. So, daytime?
Like proper dead, not like, you know.
Like, I feel like whoever runs this house is going to have a leadership. And that leadership's probably going to be vampire leadership. So if we can get a hand on this vampire leader, we can make them tell us what we want to know about the other vampires. And then work our way up until we're done with these people. And they're not doing what they're doing here anymore. They could have done this anywhere else in the world. They did it here.
Sounds like they are doing it everywhere else in the world as well.
Well, then they can
So
go
to be clear, what you're upset about isn't like the manipulation or the stealing priceless cultural artifacts or the drinking people's blood or the ruining lives. It's this is a branding dispute.
It's everything. It's all of that. I had a new start. I could have made a difference, and they're ruining it for me. They're taking the one thing I had that was making things better, and they made it garbage. And you know what? I don't want to turn the other cheek. Not after
So it
learning
is
what
a
we
branding
learned.
dispute. Yeah.
Not after what we learned with the stars. No. Not after what the stars told us. No. I've turned my cheek my entire life. It feels like these things have to go. They can't come into where I am and do these things and claim it under my name. That's bullshit. That's not fair.
You know you're claiming it under their name.
No.
It's you giving them a glow up.
No, I reject that reality entirely.
Oh.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not happy with how things are going in London with all of these things. Demon wizards, vampires, just making things miserable for people, and that's on top of the actual people doing it. And I was going to be slow, and I was going to be calm. I was going to win them with kindness. But these ones, we were in Rigel's museum, and they showed up to rob us. Isn't it maddening? You can't hear that. It's like sound that's out of tune. It's like a drilling in your ear. You can't hear that. They have to go.
Because they use the same ancient Egyptian doodad that you did.
Because there are
All right.
garbage cult manipulating people, drinking people's blood, and doing it under my symbol. I own this symbol, not because I chose it, because it was carved into me when I woke up and got a chance to fix things. It was made for me. Do you think I went to a mall? I went to a tattoo parlor. It showed up. It was there every time I I close my eyes. That symbol's there, telling me what to do.
Or maybe there's something more about the symbol that they'll be able to tell you about to learn something more about yourself.
Sure, maybe I will, but you can also learn more about you. But you know what? On top of that, you learn about yourself and what you put yourself in opposition to. So fine, if they
Damn
want
it!
to,
I've got a key on my forehead, and I don't come and leather the shit out of you every time you try and open your front door, get in your car. You know.
it's not the same. All right, I'm sorry that I'm not good at articulating this to you, and I'm sorry that it sounds so selfish and personal. I really am. I understand that it's not a good look, especially because we're so new together. But this is making me crazy, and it hurts. It
No, I
hurts.
picked up on that.
It hurts in a way I haven't been hurt in a very long time. So we need to deal with these people before they make things worse. I can't be going out and trying to get people and show them that I can help them if there's this fucking cult taking people in and using them as blood bags.
No, yeah, sounds good.
I can't make I can't help people. I can't fix things. This ruins it all. It makes it all garbage. Just like you said, yeah, they were here first. It's a glow up. You're technically one of them. You were always a snake vampire devil. You know, these are technically your people. No, none of that shit. They chose poorly. 200 years ago, they should have rolled the dice on a different hot topic symbol. Because it seems inevitably they had to be here causing shit. But you know what? No. You know what? This time, fucking the bad luck goes to them. This time their lives get ruined for no good reason, for no real point, on a random chance they made centuries ago. It's their turn. Not our turn, it's their turn. Can you please help me with this? Because I'm not very good at the big picture.
Yeah, I think we picked up on that.
I don't know how to approach this in a way that wouldn't cause damage that I can't unforesee. Like, I know how I would solve this problem. I know how Despair 7 wants me to solve this problem. And I'm trying to keep the escalation factor down. So what's the most efficient way to do this that doesn't put a lot of innocent people in harm's way?
Well, you could try parlay with them, maybe.
I don't think peace is an option.
That's my thought as well. Well, no, it's more of a... You say that you really want to just target the leaders, yes?
Yeah.
Well, we already have a way to talk with at least the low-level ones.
Yeah, weren't y'all going to sell them a bunch of mummies or something?
Yeah, we just simply say, oh, we're not going to deal with scrub lords like you, and we have to bully our way socially up to their masters, and then we get to talk with them directly, and maybe it can be solved without beating them to a pulp. But if it comes to that, well, it comes to that.
Okay, I didn't think about that. That's a good idea. Okay, so we go with the mummy plan, like we were originally going to, and we just leverage up to their leaders.
Yeah, we can at least try. It's not exactly something I'm very familiar with. but it seems at least a start, rather than barging in the front door and murdering everybody, which it sounds is a...
If you weren't here giving me good advice, I would probably listen to the Spare 7, and that building wouldn't be standing tomorrow.
I'm glad to be here, then. What did the rest of you think about that? Even you, Millie, I suppose.
Oh, well, if you want my opinion, I think that I think that they've got the right of it. Fuck them.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it that way. And who knows? Probably it still won't. We'll still end up burning it to the ground. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, they have our card. How are we going to get in contact with them? Are we waiting for them? Do we reach out to them?
Why don't we just go to their place and say hello?
Yeah, we know where they are now, so that should be easier.
Yeah, you guys do know where they are, and so you guys can just show up while the sun's up. Have a little bit of an advantage there.
That would be a power
We can't
move.
exactly talk to them with the sun up, can we?
I mean, they can try to wake up, but it's going to be rough, and they're not going to be happy about it.
They probably won't.
Yeah, they'll probably tell us to wait or something.
Yeah. And we don't want to stake them out ahead of time, like by trying to enter during the day, because then that'll just let them prep, and it'll give them the advantage because it's their home turf, and we have no idea what we're walking into.
We could try going to them at the end of the night, so they won't be up for too long.
Okay. All right. Let's do it then.
It's not a bad call. So you guys are going to wait until, like, I don't know, like, sometime between, like, 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning to go and deal with them.
Yeah. My question to y'all, should I be bringing guys?
I mean, you could have some human guys around, incognito maybe.
I could also have smaller critters with us. I don't know if we'd be able to sneak dogs through like we did last time. I feel like that's not going to work as many times as I think it will.
If only this was the werewolf, PC game. With dog-sized vents.
Dog-sized vents.
Dog-sized vents.
I thought that we were doing with man-sized vents in this game.
We definitely have man-sized vents.
Yeah, those are in the air. The dog-sized vents are on the ground.
Yeah. Wait, have you not seen the fucking footage from that shitty werewolf PC game that came out?
No, I haven't. I almost bought it.
Every fucking building has wolf-sized vents, and they're exactly at ground level.
It's so good. It's my favorite thing in the world.
But why?
And it's built by Pentex, who his main villain is werewolves. So
it's a lot.
They're just inviting disaster.
Yeah, so they make sure that they're exactly wolf-sized ventilation ducts flush with the ground everywhere.
I mean, Pentex is a pretty shitty company. I guess that just kind of works in the werewolves' favor.
Was it Pentex? It was an evil company.
Oh no, it's Pentex.
Yeah, it's
you're
Pentex.
Talking werewolf.
It's Pentex.
Well, I think it's specifically Endron because you're dealing with
Well, that's a Pentex subsidiary.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, God, it's such a shitty game. It's astonishingly shitty. It's like
I'm so glad that I looked up reviews for that before it came out because I almost picked it up for my wife for her birthday.
Oh God, no! I was watching like the awful preview footage, and I was like, I was like watching like this, this guy in like werewolf form. He creeps up behind this dude and does like a stealth takedown, and there's like a flash of smoke, and he turns back into the shitty generic biker and like chokes the guy out, and then turns back into a wolf. And I'm like, why the fuck would they do that? And then it just hit me. There's 1,000,001 like bone rigging animation rigs on the Unity asset store for like dude chokes out other dude, but I bet you there aren't any for like wolf takes a guy out.
Oh no.
No, probably not.
And I was like, as soon as that thought crossed my mind, I was like, that is why it's that way. Is this game is like 60% just shit they purchased off the Unity store and barely did anything to customize
this
it.
was a recent one, right? Like I thought this was like one of the older games where they like.
Oh god, yeah, it's this year. It came out this year.
Oh, how embarrassing!
And it looks like a PS2 game. It looks like a PS2 game.
How embarrassing
so
for
sad.
Paradox Interactive.
Okay, but you say it's like a PS2 game. Does that mean that it's like, because like, you know, the Deadly Premonition games are pretty good and they look like ass.
No, I mean it looks like Soul Reaver 1.
The gameplay is very bad. I was watching a friend play it,
but less atmospheric.
It's just the entire game is in a warehouse.
Oh,
that's it.
God. Okay, cool. I'm gonna totally map an adventure for you guys off of a Let's Play that I'll find of this.
It's just we need to get back to the game, or else we're going to be stuck in this forever.
In a nightmare.
Okay, so you accidentally downloaded. So Despair 7 accidentally downloaded an entire Let's Play of Lycanthrope the Rapture. And
I'm so sorry, guys. He does that sometimes. You know, I can't really. You can. AI's a crapshoot.
Oh no, it's playing on the screens.
I
no.
know. I'm sorry. It's my bad. I'll get better at it.
So we're waiting until like 2 a.m. to roll out?
Yeah.
I think so.
Y'all are going to be so fucking sick of Layla tooling her way through Temple of the Dog's hunger strike by that point.
Well, I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, with your level of performance, I don't think we are.
I'm gonna have like, I don't know, sushi brought on down. We'll get some drinks together. We'll have a great old time pre-gaming.
So you guys are going to pregame the time before going to the Temple of the Dog. Eventually, 1:30, 2 o'clock rolls around, and you guys head on out towards the temple.
Perfect. Pocket full of rats.
Oh, should we be pausing soon? Because we've been going at this for almost an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, may as well just make sure that we don't lose any of the recordings or anything.
All right, let's flip off the track then.
And pausing. We're back.
All right, so you guys go and approach the Temple of the Dog. The Temple of the Dog is essentially, from the outskirts, kind of looks like an old church that has been since converted to something else. It's not run down, but it has kind of that same like that same shape to it, where it's like a very large house that then has like the very sharp slanted roof to it, where once a cross might have been displayed at the top, it has since switched to a like late at night a large like LED display that is showing off the symbol of Typhon. As that you all approach, it kind of flickers out for a moment and then kind of comes back in full force. And you can see that the lights are on inside, and there are a multitude of people in there.
Oh, they've got the branding so prominent here.
Yeah, they do. It's convenient. All right, I guess I'll take point on that, and I'm just going to walk in like I own the place.
Well, follow his lead.
So when you walk in like you own the place, what is your entrance like? Because that, when you say it like that, that definitely like I get a couple different ideas in my head.
You know what? I'm going to be...
I'm a bitch. I'm a lover.
I know, right? I'm going to be fun with it and, be a little unoptimized. I'm going to spend an essence to activate mind hand manipulation because, you know what? I like having toys. It's active for the scene. I got to roll in plus occult. I'll do that in a moment to not break the flow. The doors will just dramatically smash open in front of me, like off their hinges.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Boom, baby.
You give them the old Emperor's New Groove. Excellent.
Right? So, I'll walk on in.
There are, like I said, a multitude of people in here. They don't have pews set up here so much as fairly comfortable looking benches, or even up towards the front near the pulpit. There's some chairs and even like a recliner or two for some of their older members. There are a few people who are on top of the pulpit, talking heatedly, having a discussion, it seems like, or they were until that you kicked open that door, and all eyes have now turned towards you. There are, at least at a quick scan, 10 people in here that you can see.
Whoever among here is a vampire, go get your masters. Everyone else should leave.
I'm gonna ask you to roll me something to intimidate them.
I have no intimidation. I'm not.
Oh, boy.
I do. Oh my god! I have a dot of it.
Oh,
yay!
Yay!
Spend willpower.
Wait, are these creatures of darkness?
Yes. Well, some of them are.
So
the ones you're intimidating are.
Let's see. I'm gonna say that you're in their house talking shit to them. They feel pretty safe. I'm gonna say it's gonna be they are starting at a difficulty of 7.
So 5. Perfect.
And I would say intimidation and charisma. You're not lying to them.
2 successes.
Okay, let me give me just a moment to get there. Willpower rolled.
Oof, opposed rolls.
Right.
Oh, 3 successes. Wait, no, never mind. No, I accounted for it. It's good. It's good. Wait.
Get out of here.
In EvWoD, when you get a 10, is it 10s count twice or
only if you have a specialty?
And I do transparency. I am being so transparent. So technically 3 successes.
Okay. Okay. So, what ends up happening is there are 2 people up on the pulpit that stare at you, and they kind of like stare daggers back at you. One of them does not flinch at you, and the other one kind of like takes a step back before trying to like steal themselves. However, you see scurrying off to the side is someone who is not having a great time and basically goes running kind of through the darkened side area towards one of the back rooms. The people who are in the pews, a good number of them leave. but there's still about 2 or 3 that you can see. They just kind of go, "Ooh, something's no, not going to deal with this tonight. This is not for me." And there's like 2 or 3 that are fine, but the rest, like, they're not fine. They're interested in what's going on, but the rest kind of go, "You know what? This ain't worth it."
If we only knew that their weakness was, bright lights, I could do stuff with that. Oh, well.
I mean, one more essence spent, my anima's going to start flaring, so...
Oh boy. What do you think you're doing? Barging into the house of our Lord.
I will pick up one of the door halves that weigh 200 pounds or less. I don't know how doors weigh. I don't know how pounds work.
Yes, I would say that a door weighs less than 200 pounds normally.
Okay, I don't make a motion. The door picks up behind me and spins like a Legend of Zelda floor tile and goes past that person through a window over their head.
What?
First strike.
Question, yeah.
What is this, did this motherfucker actually hiss at us?
Yes, he did actually hiss at you. He is actually doing the thing.
What's his wits plus subterfuge?
His wits plus subterfuge is going to be an 7.
Okay, give me one moment.
I think we've established that when they're using their serpentis tongue thing, that's when they get the hiss.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. The stupid serpentis tongue.
I was going to ask, how is End of Sadness able to throw the thing that easily?
Mind hand manipulation, I got a 3, so I can manipulate 200 pounds worth of stuff with my mind. I can also technically fly. Okay. So if he starts hissing at me, I'm not going to hiss back, but I'm so tempted to do what we do in the shadows thing and like square them up by floating, but I don't want to play that card yet.
You said this guy was what, 7?
Yes, a 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, shit. So I got 6 successes to activate Wicked Naked Souls.
Oof.
So let me just paste that in. Or should I read it off since people are listening to this?
Yeah. Probably good to read it off, or at least read off parts of it, yeah.
Okay, so I spent an essence. I made a roll. I succeeded, and success tells me what deed in all of this snake talking motherfucker's history he is most ashamed of. And with 3 or more successes, I also learned some specific details of the sin in question: names, dates, things that, that I might have seen if I was actually there to witness it. And with 5 or more, I can even learn details that the vampire doesn't know, like long-term consequences of whatever awful fucking thing he did.
Oh, it's so it has to be what sin that he's ashamed of.
Yeah, like what would he would basically, if you forced him to answer honestly, like, what's the worst thing you ever did?
Oh, that's such a weird question to ask a freaking follower of Set.
Mm-hmm.
A child sacrifice, turning someone in.
They have to feel
getting
ashamed
some
of it,
poor person addicted to something.
Okay, I got it. So, and you say that you witnessed the event?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that many successes, it's basically like I was there to see it.
So you know that about, and I see that it mentions names, dates, and things. So about 10 years ago, this guy was in Italy doing some of his normal follower of set stuff, trying to peddle some drugs to kids and all that kind of stuff. That's not important. What's important about his shame here is that he attempted to diablerize another vampire and was unsuccessful in it. Because the other vampires, basically their friends came to help and like fucked his shit up, but he managed to get away. What he doesn't know, since you got 5 or more successes, is that some of those vampires are trying to find him and are pretty close to him.
"10 years ago, you said?"
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
I guess this also impairs you the knowledge about what diablerie is. So that was kind of weird.
Vampire cannibalism.
Vampire cannibalism. Yeah,
it's not a hard.
I'm using game terms, but basically,
yeah.
Yeah, like I'm using game terms, but basically, like you watch him try and take down another vampire, and that is what he's ashamed of.
Look at this man hissing at us as though we're going to be scared of a He-Man villain. But the funny thing is, he doesn't know that he's the one who should be afraid here, not just because of what you're going to do to him and what I'm going to do to him, but because of what happened in Italy 10 years ago when he stepped out and tried to go into business for himself with his 2 wee little fangs.
I think you should
and
get your
fucked it all up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you weren't done. It's really cool.
And fucked it all up, and ran away and ended up here in London and thought it was all behind him. But it isn't. Because they haven't forgotten, and they've been looking, and now they're close. And knowing all that, you still want to stand there flapping your fangs at us and hissing and wasting our time.
He is taken aback by everything that you've said. He was the one who stood his ground against End of Sadness's intimidation tactics, but you just pointing out everything, just really just pointing it out.
Cut him to the core.
Yeah, cut him right to the core.
Boil that cup over.
And you... At this point, as that he looks like he's having kind of like a 10-mile stare as he just kind of like is realizing that something wrong is happening. The doors in the back open up with the same amount of force and gravitas that End of Sadness tried to give, or that End of Sadness gave.
Yeah.
As a taller Egyptian-looking man in a in a suit with like well manicured features, wearing very dark and like thick sunglasses, comes out and looks to them all, and then looks to you all. Well then. What are you doing here?
Are you the vampire in charge, or does Layla have to give an encore?
I am in charge here. How can I help you?
Thank you so much. My associate here, Rigel, recently almost got robbed by your minions. And unfortunately, that has set a series of dominoes in play that have led us here. So, whoever those 2 were, you have them to thank for this. We're here to discuss
He
terms.
nods. You have quite a way of making an entrance. Terms for what?
Your unconditional surrender.
He looks to the others. Is this a joke? Did you all put me up for this because you thought it would be funny to see what happens when you try to back someone into a corner? You even broke a window. I will have you all punished for this. This is not the way to spend the end of my evening. The other two that are up at the pulpit come over to him and just go, like, it's quiet, but it's not quiet enough that you all can't hear in, like, the sudden tense quietness that has come over. She's like, boss, we didn't plan any of this. These guys are... They were at the... Like, one of them's just like, they were at the museum. We thought that we could trade them some tax for some mummies. Oh, this is serious then. So are you not going to trade the mummies to us then?
The hell do you want with mummies anyway? Fucking lunatics.
What? Excuse you, what any naturally born Egyptian wants, then brought back to the homeland.
Damn it, Rigel, you were right. My bad.
But the question is, are they lying and can we detect it?
That is the question.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I have any lie detecting charms.
Truth doesn't really
Just
matter to End
normal.
of Sadness one way or the other.
Ah. Fine.
Okay, so I think that it's normally perception and subterfuge to see if someone's lying.
I can't do that.
All right.
So bad at it.
It's going to be a difficulty 7 since you guys are kind of like yelling at each other from like far away, and he's like, so it's harder to see like facial tics.
Okay.
No problem. I'll...
Should I give myself a penalty for having a demeanor of naive?
Oh man, I got 3 successes on it. 8 to 10.
I got 2.
Let me roll my excellency into this and other stuff into this.
There.
Oh,
it is.
lordy, yeah.
I keep forgetting Peter's the Omni-Man.
I need to spend all my essence onto it. Got 6 successes.
Okay, so Rigel knows what's up.
I might as well also use my excellency just for fun.
I mean,
May as well.
You can save it for when the combat starts.
You could also save it for then.
I got 8 successes.
There it is. Rowan, what the fuck?
all right, no moon.
Yes.
Perception is a cast attribute. Ones don't subtract.
There it is.
Yeah.
What did the Infernals get again?
I got a 3.
I got 2. I got 2.
Okay.
Truth and lies don't really matter to us too.
Right. This guy seems to you guys, you know what? They might be a bunch of snake worshipping weirdos who aren't worshipping the right god according to actual Egyptian mythology. But you know what? At least he wants to bring the mummies back to Egypt. That seems pretty rad.
Oh man, I did a race.
Rigel and Rowan, you know that he's lying. You could hear it in his voice. You could tell with your eyes closed that he was lying.
And on top of that, he's not even Egyptian.
He is actually Egyptian.
Dang, maybe he was from some other African country.
Dude,
You're from Libya.
Oh. I wanted you to be telling the truth. Why couldn't you do such a thing?
My brain really wants him to yell, because I'm a snake!
he's literally speaking with a damn forked tongue.
He is not. This one is not speaking with a forked tongue.
What the other one was? Fuck it.
Yeah, the one that you saw into his past was.
So let's talk terms.
So, yes, you leave and pay for this window and the doors that you broke, and I continue to exist here, and we'll just say that it was a laugh.
I'm now playing Temple of the Dog over him as he's trying to talk.
So
I've got the guitar on. It's over. She carried the guitar in on her back. It's like
absolutely
the
fantastic.
shoulder strap.
We have to get you an amp rat at some point to give you an amp.
I'm pig.
So you tell us everyone in your organization, and you give them up willingly. All of your leaders and your ones above. You give us any relics you've given so we can redistribute them where they have to go. And you just basically give us this entire church so that we can start working on the people here that you've corrupted. And in return, we will allow you to die and not be condemned directly to hell.
That's a bit hardball.
It's the best deal they'll ever
Your
get.
terms suck.
You're a vampire. You're used to it.
That one was selling drugs to little kids, and he doesn't even feel fucking bad about it. He's more upset that he failed to commit murder on another of his own fucking kind.
Yeah.
Like, how fucked is that?
The boss turns to this guy and just kind of goes, "You tried to do what? You know what? We'll deal with that after this."
Again, these are the best terms you'll get unless you can negotiate something better. This is what I'm bringing to the table. You want to find a compromise, you better start making us happy. And watch your tone.
He looks flabbergasted that you all are talking to him like this.
No one talks to him like this.
No one talks to him like this. To him, this is some grade A bullshit. And he just kind of looks down and snaps his fingers, and he goes, "All right, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. My associates say that you all are in possession of some mummies, as you've said. We will trade you some techs for some mummies. And then, if you ever show your face in a 3-mile radius, or I'm sorry, a 3-kilometer radius, this is London, you wouldn't say miles, in a 3-kilometer radius of this place, we'll fucking kill you."
Layla, what are you thinking here?
I don't know. That's a very tempting offer, don't you think?
I can't really tell. This isn't really my forte. It sounds like it's a good deal.
I might have a better idea.
I, of course, will.
I might have a better idea.
I, of course, will abdicate to your judgment in these matters.
So, just before I make my counteroffer, just to be completely clear, it sounds like you have no interest in my friend's proposal to you.
No, he's offered me a chance to die at his... He just kind of like motions at all of you, noticing that you have 1 dot in strength.
End of sadness is...
But you don't have like a counteroffer that involves you like fucking off, crawling on your bellies, like it's part of your snake cosplay religion. and just abdicating the church. Any of that? No?
No, why would we do that? We have an entire setup here.
Well, mostly because of this. And at that point, she erupts into a geyser of green fire that weaves itself into a really fucking grotesque Cronenberg-looking chrysalis made of meat and horn. Just right there in the middle of the church.
Is there a cooldown on that? Do we have to protect you for a turn or something?
About 3 seconds, yeah. It's as you sit there just pulsing gruesomely.
End of Sadness will...
Probably just long enough for them to go, what the fuck?
That's probably long enough for them to go, what the fuck, and roll initiative. They don't know what that you just did. But I will say this. They probably think you're some kind of weird-ass Zamisi, and they're not planning to fuck with that.
I also have to prep my minor transformation, because I don't have a super awesome Bloodborne form yet.
Did I forget to fucking put initiative on my sheet? I did.
It's okay. It's a thing.
We go to the battle sheet where it's already filled.
Oh yeah, Peter did the legwork. He's kind of amazing at that. You get your own part on the battle sheet for your health tracks.
My initiative is not filled in on the battle sheet for some fucking reason.
That's your initiative mod is filled in, but the initiative that you've run.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because that's our old initiative. We did it all for you. You weren't there for the last battle.
Oh yeah. It's just a D10 plus your mod, right?
Yeah.
But
that won't be today because we need to finish because it's kind of getting late for some people.
Oh shit, yeah.
Unless.
So I guess we just leave in suspense.
Because I have a feeling this is going to...
Next episode, Shintai forms.
Yeah. Form, singular. I don't have a cool Shintai form yet, but I do have a baby form. Because I don't want to take away from...
To be clear, that's a baby Shintai form. He doesn't actually turn into a baby.
Yeah. I'm going to get out of the middle camera because Layla is clearly the presence actor here. End of Silence will gently glide so that Layla is front and center, and I hope the rest of you guys reposition so Layla's kind of in the middle of our little group. A broken, damaged, clamshell cell phone that's been fixed with, red metal and stuff, the way you do with pottery, levitates up into End of Silence's hand, and they open it, and they will go through a very minor, much less cool transformation into what looks like essentially a Sentai outfit. Silver mirrored clothing, a cape, a helmet with the Despair 7 symbol on it, and the Typhon symbol on the cape. Also a shoulder-mounted gun made of pinball machine materials that looks like an eel head. Also,
it's so fucking rad.
I had a picture commissioned of it. It's not there yet.
I just put on some sunglasses because it seems that flames are erupting, and prepare a ancient battle form that we have recently learned. Because there seem to be all three of them in the same place, so perfect AOE.
Get ready for Kung Fu.
I love that Rigel's I love that his battle transformation is just putting on some sunglasses.
That's the solar way, though. He's Johnny Cage.
It fucking is. It is.
Just wait. Eventually, I'll go into my ultimate form where I take off my sunglasses.
Oh no!
Oh my fuck!
You're so
Rowan turns into the man deer, and the Infernal's behold my true form and despair, behold mine too, and Rydell just
what up?
So the vampire's going to be okay, all of these things are amazing and awful, but what about that dude? He's just standing there not doing anything.
That must be the most powerful of them all.
I want to see what he does. Can't we just wait around and see what he does? I want to see what the little guy does.
See, I'm the guy from Wish Dragon that keeps his hands in his pocket and just kicks everything.
Exactly.
So we have Johnny Cage, Are you going deer form, Sam?
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt it. He goes half deer. We did that last episode.
War form. So, the man deer is back. A giant cocoon that's about to go full on Bloodborne. And an evil Power Ranger. I fucking love Exalted.
Okay, so who wants to call us out?
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the thing.
So, do they have any last thing they're going to do?
They're going to look very stunned at this.
Oh, perfect. So,
Release 5, activate.
Right. So I was Devin.
Brendan.
Peter.
Holden.
And Sam.
And this is sponsored by nobody. Signing off.
This game is a collaboration between A Pair of Dice Lost and Sponsored by Nobody podcasts. You can find us at apairofdicelost.podbean.com and sponsoredbynobody.podbean.com. You can find Exalted vs. World of Darkness over at holdenshearer.wordpress.com.